Hey everybody, welcome back to Dr. Mac Reads. I'm Dr. Mac. Today we have a really fun story for you. I'm going to be reading it using the voice of one of my all-time favorite comedians, Jim Carrey. Now please be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow me on Instagram at Dr._Mac_Reads. All right, now let's get started. This is called The Rubber-Faced Kid of Room 102. Ace Christmas didn't just walk into Mrs. Finkel's second grade class, he glided. He boogied. He arrived with a face that looked like it was made of rubber and a voice that could hit notes only dogs and mascot dolphins could hear. Ace was the class clown. He dedicated every moment of every day to making his friends laugh, no matter how much of a distraction it caused. Come to me, school friends. Are you ready to laugh? Alrighty then. Check the face. It's fresh. It's minty. It's slightly sticky. Ugh. Ace then pulls his own cheeks until his eyes looked like dinner plates. The class erupted. Harry Dunn fell off of his chair. Mary Swanson sprayed apple juice out of her nose. Ace was on fire. Ace, Mrs. Finkel said, tired and frustrated, we are starting our lesson on the great blue whale. Please sit down. Ace froze. He turned his head slowly. Like a robot with a rusty neck. The whale? You mean the blubber muffin? The giant of the deep? Smokin'! He started puffing out his chest and making whale call noises. Ace, now, his teacher said very seriously. Ace slumped into his seat. He stayed quiet, but his brain was a bouncy house. 10 minutes into the lesson, Mrs. Finkel was explaining how whales breathe. Boring, thought Ace. The people need art. They need the walrus. He popped his pencils into his nostrils and began a silent, rhythmic shimmy. The row behind him started giggling. Mrs. Finkel kept talking, but the giggles were rising. Ace then took it up a notch. It was time to bring out his classic character, Fire Marshal Bill. He grabbed a fire helmet from underneath his desk, stood on his chair, contorted his face, and shouted, "Let me show you something. I'm Fire Marshal Bill. Let's go over some basic fire safety." Ace! Mrs. Finkel didn't look like Mrs. Finkel anymore. She looked like a volcano. Outside now! Ace's face fell. He did a slow, dramatic walk out to the hallway. A few seconds later, Mrs. Finkel met him outside the classroom. She didn't look mean. She looked very disappointed. Ace, she said softly, you are the funniest kid I've ever met. Truly, you have a gift for making people happy. Ace perked up. I do? I mean, alrighty then. But, she continued, do you know why we're learning about the whale today? Ace's rubbery face went blank. Because although they are slow and dangerous behind the wheel, they still can serve a purpose. Mrs. Finkel bit her cheek to stop herself from laughing. No, we're going on a field trip to the aquarium tomorrow. But because you were performing and distracting the other students, you missed the safety rules. If you don't know the rules, you can't go. You'll stay here and do worksheets. Ace's heart sank like a stone. No trip? No sharks? No aquatic shenanigans? Comedy is about timing, Ace, Mrs. Finkel said. A great comedian knows when to speak, but they also know when to listen. How can you find new things to joke about if you don't allow yourself to learn about new things? If you spend all your time talking, you'll run out of things to be funny about. Ace thought about this. He twisted his face into a thinker pose. Hand on chin, one eyebrow raised high. She's right, he thought. If I don't pay attention and learn, I won't have new knowledge to keep my material fresh. And if I distract the other students from learning, they won't understand my jokes. Mrs. Finkel, Ace said, his voice sounding like a serious Shakespearean actor, I have been a selfish ham. I've had all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile. I want to hear the rules. I want to learn. I want the whales. I want to be informed. From now on, no jokes or distractions in the classroom, but the playground will be my place to shine. Mrs. Finkel smiled. Okay, Ace, as long as there are no more classroom disruptions, you can go on the field trip and be the playground clown, just not the class clown. So you're telling me there's a chance? Ace said with a sparkle in his eye. Yes, Ace, said Mrs. Finkel with a wink. I'd put it at a little bit better than 1 in a million. The next day at the aquarium, Ace was a new man. Well, a new 8-year-old. When the guide talked, Ace listened. He kept his hands in his pockets. He kept his mouth shut. He and his classmates paid attention and learned many fascinating facts about all the amazing creatures at the aquarium. But when they got to the school bus at the end of the day, Mrs. Finkel leaned over. Okay, Ace, mission accomplished. We've listened and we've learned. You've done a great job today. I'm very proud of you. Ace was very proud of himself, too. He beamed like a pet detective who just solved the case, or like a limo driver after the perfect pickup and drop-off. He gave a funny chuckle. Why, thank you, Mrs. Finkel. Permission to engage in hilarity? Permission granted, she said. Ace immediately put on a pair of sunglasses and proceeded to recite the difference between a harbor porpoise and a bottlenose dolphin. The common harbor porpoise has an abrupt snout, pointed teeth, and a triangular thoracic fin, while the bottlenose dolphin, or Tursiops truncatus, has an elongated beak, round cone-shaped teeth, and a serrated dorsal appendage. But I'm sure you already knew that. That's what I like about you, classmates. It's your attention to detail. The class exploded into laughter. Ace Christmas learned a valuable lesson. There are times to be funny and silly, and there are times to learn. A true kid comedian knows when to be funny and when to pay attention. The end. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. Again, please be sure to like, subscribe, share this video with people who you think might like it. And until next time, I'm Dr. Mac, and keep reading.